We're going to put out a brief video on NVDA Stock, Nvidia Stock Analysis. And we've got a daily chart up here for you on Nvidia Corporation. It's a daily chart. It's got three moving averages, a green 5-day, a red 20-day, and a blue 200-day moving average. Let's back up just a little bit right here to about the spring of April 2022, and we see the stock entered a bear market, had tremendous respect for the 20-day moving average as we came down, made new lows. The stock clearly is in a bear market, continues to be in a bear market. We got some cross movement here, some rallies and some declines through the summer, and that's basically putting us all the way up here to the beginning of September. We're still in this back and forth motion now here recently, at the very beginning of September, we broke through the July 5th lows, and we're moving now in a slightly smaller range that's been established in the last week. Those July lows were $40.55. This recent low of September 1st, $32.50, and so we're moving back and forth in a range in the 30s, right around 135-ish or so in the past week on the stock. So what's going on essentially is we're bear market on the stock. We're making new lows for this bear market decline. We're significantly below the 200-day moving average, which is concerning. We're below the 20-day, and we're back and forth around the 5-day. You can see the 5 days kind of almost, I'd call it flat. So what do I think is going to happen with the stock? Well, it is making new lows. We have a gap here from 143 to 149. We have a gap, and I would expect that gap to be filled at some point. You can see it started to fill it yesterday, got to 145, but that gap goes all the way up to 149. It's my guess that gap's going to be filled sooner rather than later, but that's just a guess. If I had to make a prediction, which I'm not doing, but I'm just guessing, I'd say the stock's probably going to rally to about the 152 level here within the next couple of weeks. It certainly could make new lows. It's not doing well at all today. This stock, Nvidia, is down $10 today, and as I look at it, it's trading on 25 million shares on an average day of 53 million shares, so it's not quite 12 o'clock yet. We're at about halfway through the average volume, and it's down $10, a little more than 7%, trading currently at about 134 and some change. So that's where the stock is right now. I really do think this stock is probably, keep in mind, we could easily go down here to the 120s level. That's just a chip shot. That's no problem. But this stock is, even though it's in a bear market, when you start to see gaps like this, you're almost always going to get the gaps filled. If you see this gap right here on January 13th, this gap was filled within 2 weeks, and then it went down. I'm not saying it might not eventually go down to 120s, but my guess is we should fill these little gaps. There's a little gap here that probably should be filled, which would be a rally up to about 144-ish or so. This gap here up to 150 will probably be filled. The question is, when is it going to fill them? I definitely think it's going to fill them. So there's no predicting. It's just, my opinion for entertainment purposes only. But at some point, we're going to get a rally up to this 150 level. My guess is, again, third week in September, something like that. We may go lower down in the 120s before we get there, and I know that's not real helpful, but I'm just trying to give you my opinion of what's going on. There's no telling that whether or not this stock's going to violate this low of 132.70. That could easily happen. That's a nothing. And if it does, then you're probably going to get a continued sell-off into the 120s. But eventually, and again, by the end of the month, I think you're going to see this price come back up and touch 150. And I think that you're going to then challenge your 20-day moving average and see if you can't get this thing turned around. This gap between the 200-day moving average and the price is too big. Whenever you get these huge gaps, you get rallies, and you can just look here and see. When these gaps get too far away, you get a rally, and that's what I'm looking for in this stock right now. Again, entertainment purposes only. The timing is extremely tricky on this one. It's usually not as tricky as it is here, because we may definitely go down in the 20s here before we go to the 150 range. So it's very difficult to make an analysis there. That's a trader's decision. But from a longer term perspective, certainly the 120s lows are possible, but I also believe we're going to be back in the 150s probably by the end of September. And when I say that, we may just tap it. I'm not predicting a turnaround to a bull market, but we may just tap it. We're way too far away from the 200-day moving average to start talking about a bull market in this stock. We may get a bull market rally in a bear market, but this Nvidia is firmly in a bear market right at the moment. That's my best guess using technical analysis for entertainment purposes only. Let's scoot down here and see what RBAM research says about it. RBAM puts these algorithmically generated prices out every morning before 7 a.m. These are for the 13th. They come out Monday through Friday, and they're buys only for 1, 5, and 20-day holding periods. Let's go see what it says about Nvidia. And today, let's take a quick look for NVDA Stock, NVIDIA Stock Analysis. So that's where we are here. It says got zeros all the way across. That basically means it's not a good day to buy according to this algorithm, which of course has turned out to be a good choice because the stock is down over 7% as we talk. So that's where we are today on this. This algorithms are great. They're for entertainment purposes only, but they are fun to look at every day. There's 1, 5, and a 20-day holding period. The way it works is if you buy in this column, assuming your own analysis says it's a good idea, you close out worst case at the end of the the end of the next trading day. So buy today, close end of trading tomorrow at a loss, or take your profits as soon as you get them. Same thing for the 5 and the 20. If you bought in the 20-day column, based on your own analysis, you would hold for worst case 20 days, close out at a loss, best case take your profits as soon as you got them. Again, for entertainment purposes only, but they are a lot of fun to tune into and see every morning. We put them out before 7 a.m. Absolutely no cost, no credit card required. You can get them all at rbamresearch.com. There's a link in the description below. In addition to the 190 stocks I just showed you, we also cover the major forex pairs, BTC crypto, and the most liquid futures. Everything but the stocks are buys or shorts. The stocks currently are longs only. There's again a link in the description below. We'd love to hear your comments on whether or not you like trading analysis. If you like it, please tell us in the comments below. If you don't like it, please tell us in the comments below. And in both cases, tell us why. Tell us what your logic behind it is. We use quantitative analysis all the time. We love it, but we also use moving averages to explain what we think is going on in the markets. If you like this video, please click the like button below. If you want to subscribe, please do that. Remember, everything you've seen and heard on here is for entertainment purposes only, including our entry prices and our analysis. You have to do your own analysis, and all of our information, including the entry prices, are for entertainment purposes only, and you definitely do trade at your own risk.